This is a new thing I'm trying. I feel in character. I feel confident.
You feel confident?
Don't judge.
I feel like you need a different persona with those glasses on. Like you need a different name.
I'll be Trippy Griffy.
Trippy Griffy.
I'm Trippy Griffy.
Griffy's in the building.
I'm Trippy Griffy.
Oh my god.
All right.
Or Lil Griff.
Lil Griff.
It's funny because my dad literally used to call himself Big Griff. It's awful.
No.
Lil Griff. All right. Well, welcome to Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, managing editor of The Signal, and this is the first episode of Spring 2018 semester. And with me today, I have a cool crew of people who are going to now introduce themselves. Katherine, here at the head of the table, introduce yourself first.
I guess I'm the first one. Hey guys, I'm Katherine. I'm the audience engagement coordinator here at The Signal. I'm super happy to be back. We have a lot of things that we're going to talk about today, so I'm excited.
What's up, everybody? The name's Troylon Griffin II, a.k.a. Trippy Griffy, a.k.a. Little Griff, a.k.a. the assistant editor of The Signal. I am pleased to be here. I am great. I am happy. And I'm looking forward to talking about a great many things.
All right.
What's going on, guys? My name is Justin Murphy. I'm a live reporter for The Signal, and I'm also the Student Government Association student body president.
And we got with us, congratulations on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then also we have with us a contributor. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Kirk, and I'm a contributor.
Yeah.
Was your first time here?
Yeah.
First time here, first semester 2 with UHCL.
Yes, and what's your major?
And majoring in communications and kind of focusing on photojournalism and journalism as a whole.
All right.
Awesome. Well, welcome to
Serve us
UHCL.
well.
Welcome to becoming a hot.
Good answer!
And so let's begin. So this episode we're going to be talking about YouTube personalities and their bad behaviors, UHCL's new SGA Senate, and of course some Hawkward moments. But first up, YouTube personalities, 2018 is not turning out to be a great year for them. They have had many controversial choices that are leading to major fallout. First up, Logan Paul, a daily YouTube vlogger, posted a disturbing video on December 31st from inside Japan's suicide forest, which showed the body of a dead man who had committed suicide. And then on January 1st, the video was removed after receiving 6 million views. Paul posted his apologies on social media after receiving backlash and losing deals. As of February 4th, Paul has returned to YouTube and even exclaimed in his video, "What other YouTuber do you know can take a break for 3 weeks and still gain 1 million subscribers?" Meanwhile, another YouTube personality, Kian Lawley, was fired from his film, The Hate You Give, after a video surfaced of him making racial remarks. So first off, what are your thoughts on these two situations? Do you guys follow them? Do you follow any of these YouTubers?
I used to follow, what's the name of the...
Logan Paul?
Logan Paul. I used to follow Logan Paul when he said he was on Vine. But he was so young. When I saw the new video, I was like, oh my god, is this the same guy?
Mm-hmm.
I think from what I saw on the news, obviously he didn't know it was going to happen, but absolutely these people have to understand that they're influencers for especially the younger generations. So, I mean, he should not put it up. No matter. People were saying that he wanted it for, more views, and he was like, I don't do it for the views, I get the views anyways. I did it just, it was a human mistake. I really don't support that.
Yeah, I think he also said something about he was trying to defend himself and say that he was trying to use it for suicide awareness or something like that, which is kind of just got a distasteful reaction to it when he said that, I think. So
I'm a bit questionable about him defending himself saying that, because I don't know, it just seems like he could have gone about it better. Like he could have at least figured out who is this person that is on camera and deceased and everything. And plus, I mean, hasn't the guy been facing controversy in the past few months for other things he's done? I feel like he really should have been more careful and thought this out more, because obviously the guy doesn't want to get more crap from people. I mean, the guy has already been doing so much.
And I think it's because of his personality, he's super funny, obviously. But not only that, he's just very straightforward, very sarcastic. So, you know what I mean? It could seem to other people like he's heartless, which obviously he's not.
I was going to say, I definitely agree. it's hard to not think that he wouldn't have gotten views for this video, or that he didn't have that in the back of his mind. But we can't be in his mind to make that accusation. But I also think that what is happening with YouTube and what we're seeing with this YouTuber and many other YouTubers, it's kind of indicative of the medium and how fast it's always producing. And I think that it's obvious that he didn't think about what was going to happen, what were the repercussions of posting something like this. And they do, just like any other medium, we have to put things through a filter and understand what kind of things are going to happen to me, what kind of things are going to be said about me when something like this is posted.
I think part of it is plays into these YouTubers. They go and try to make this controversial videos all the time to get your views, to get you to click on it, clickbait, and so I find it questionable that he would think it's appropriate to show a dead body,
Exactly.
And if you're going into this notoriously known suicide forest, why would you A, film it, and B, even if you caught the footage, you still went ahead and edited the footage and put it together. It's not like you live streamed it, so it's not like you didn't have the opportunity to not show it. You made the choice to show it. And so I think there's a whole thought process behind that for him doing it. And for me, I don't think it was appropriate. And then he did take it down and whatnot. But, we could question, was it too late? Was it, did he do enough? Because he did come back and he did do an apology video. I think it was 2 days afterwards. He made an apology video. And then he made another video where he says... it was pretty much about suicide prevention, and he talked with professionals and whatnot. But is that enough? Is that enough to, make up for that mistake that he made?
So, especially now that he's released this video about, his basic comeback, it was almost 5 steps forward, and then you're taking a couple steps back, because you kind of are coming back and not showing the remorse that people would expect. And by all means, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But it says something about your character. And definitely, I think that he did make a very heartfelt apology. I think he knew the repercussions and what was going on. But when you come back and you say things like, what other YouTubers do you know can come back and do this and still get, a million subscribers? Yeah. Yeah, it does. It kind of takes away from that meaningful forgiveness that he gave.
Yeah, I agree, because like you just said, Brandon, there was so much time. I don't know about anyone else, but when you're editing a video, it can take a while. So there was so much time he had to where he could have literally, realized what he was doing wrong, and for him to not realize it, that's a problem in itself. I mean, if I'm editing a video for hours and the video has a dead person in it, there's no way I'm not gonna think, should I really do this? And honestly, I don't think I would do it. I would be like, okay, I shouldn't do that and everything. And then the fact that he does come back with this comeback video and almost makes a joke out of being gone and everything, I mean...
And then on top of that, he has a lot of young fans, meaning these are kids who are like 10, 12 years old watching his videos and posting, since he came back, oh, we're so glad you're back, and da-da-da-da-da. But I don't think they fully comprehend what he did, and by him joking about it, he's not fully taking ownership, so he's not showing them, how to take ownership of your mistakes. But do you think that YouTubers have a responsibility to be good role models to their younger audience?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. They get more money than people that are people that are in television. Everybody.
Those advertisements.
I mean, exactly. And his very last comeback video, you could see his house in the background. This guy is 22 years old. He owns probably a $3 million mansion. So of course people are gonna be looking up to him, because it's like, okay, so this guy that did, he got where he is today. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he has to understand that everything he says is gonna have its repercussions. And what you were saying, that maybe it was too late whenever he posted the video and took it down. Once you post that thing out there, it's already late for you to take it down. when you have such a big following, it's late because people are always on.
Yeah.
This is a world in which you're 24/7. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like on Twitter, like when somebody like tweets something and they're like, "Oh, I shouldn't have tweeted
Takes
that."
it
They
down.
delete it like
Yeah.
30 seconds later.
Doesn't happen.
It's still up there. Like somebody already screenshotted
It
it.
doesn't happen. Yeah.
No, and I like what you said. Like, there are many younger kids who look up to them, and just as being an older generation, when we looked up to people on TV or music stars or things like that, we wanted what they had. And YouTube is one of those platforms that you almost see a direct path to that kind of fame, and I think that he definitely over like hypes this like role that he has, definitely by showing the house and all the money and all the merch that he sells. But I think that yeah, he has a huge burden to bear when it comes to how other viewers see him and how he's representing that medium.
And I think, to me, it speaks to him as a person about, just how questionable he is personality-wise. He should know just how much of an impact he has on his followers, his fans, and everything. And for him to continuously be making these mistakes, it's like, dude, you know how big you are. You know what this is going to do. And if you don't, what's wrong with you?
And I like what you said earlier about, how does this impact, kids who look up to him? What does this say to them about, things that they say or saying things that they do, and how to take responsibility for those actions? Is it, all I gotta do is wait 3 weeks and then I'm done, I can get right back to it, I'm making friends again? Or is it something that you have to carry with you your whole life? You have to recognize what you've done, and you have to tell others, like, this was a bad thing, like, I'm not gonna make light of it.
I definitely think he's immature. In the sense of,
I mean,
I think that's what's got him famous too, is the fact that he's immature, and that's just how his videos seem. They're very brash.
He's 22 years old and he needs a PR guy.
These YouTubers, I'm sorry to say this, but they're not professionals.
Yeah.
No.
They're just people who are making a life out of,
They have a market.
yeah, they have a market, and they just ridicule themselves on camera.
And then also, like, I just don't get why they, don't realize the repercussions of what they're gonna do. I mean, if people, like, look at other celebrities, if Chris Brown or Justin Bieber came only 2 weeks after some of the things they've done and were like, "Oh, I'm back," and "Oh, look, everyone still loves me," they would be given hell by everybody.
Everyone.
So
Yeah.
why do these people like Logan Paul not realize,
Well,
hey,
and I think that also plays into the audience is that, a lot of their fan base are younger kids, and so they are able to come back faster because the kids are like, "Oh, sure, okay, cool, we forgive you."
I mean, I'm
We
not
move
gonna
on.
lie, the video was pretty hilarious. The guy is super funny, but sorry.
Yeah, I've seen his past, right?
That's definitely not how you
Yeah.
come back and say, "Hey, I'm back. Do you think I was not gonna be funny anymore?" You're wrong. He says that, and I'm like, okay, like.
But be good role models, people. If you're listening out there,
Yeah.
try to be a good role model. And speaking of good role models, we're looking for some, at least UHCL is looking for some.
Hey.
UHCL's SGA has added a new branch to their system called the SGA Senate. This organization is looking for 25 senators who will be responsible for surveying academic needs, being a liaison between students and their colleges, meeting with college faculty, and also attending SGA and SGA Senate meetings. Justin, you are the SGA president. So tell us a bit more about the Senate and its structure.
speak, Mr. President.
So the way that the Senate should run is it's one meeting a month, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it should run in the sense of the 5 senators from each respectful college come in with their respective issues that they're facing in their colleges, and then there would be a roundtable discussion on it throughout the Senate, and then hopefully we can make some progress on that through getting it through shared governance if we need to go through that route, or just finding a way to deal with it. They're also going to take a look at the SGA Constitution and do things along those lines, but really, since it's the first semester that this is going to be implemented, there is, like in the SGA Constitution, it does say what the Senate is, those are its main goals. But this is really an opportunity for the Senate to be whatever UHCL needs it to be, I believe, at this point, for what the students need at this point. And it's a great opportunity for 25 students to add something to their resume.
Yes.
And members of the Signal Run,
Anyone can run.
Anyone can.
As long
vote
as
for
you-
Troylon.
As
You can be
long
a
as
senator.
Maybe I will.
Senator Little Griff.
Hey.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Senator.
And then
How
I'll
does
take
the
your
application
job.
work?
That's fine. I'm graduating in December.
How does
Take
the
my
app-
job then.
All the good people are leaving.
How does the application work?
So the application, you can pick one up. They're online, actually. You can fill one out online, or you can print one out, and then also you can just pick one up at the SGA office in the Student Life,
How does it
or
work?
in the Student Lounge. Do what?
Do
How
y'all
does it work?
choose them?
So it's an election process.
Oh.
So the applications that we get, we'll go through an election process the week after the executive council is elected. But after that, if we don't get the 25 senators, then the SGA executive council can begin to appoint senators after the election deadline, which I think the election deadline closes on like April the 2nd, whatever that Tuesday is, the first Tuesday of April. So
And the elections, guys, every student can vote now.
yeah, every student.
Every
can vote.
student can vote. You gotta check your emails. You gotta clear those emails out. That way you can get new emails.
Wait a
Exactly.
minute. Not every UHCL student was able to vote.
No,
at
that's
one point?
Not prior
Yeah.
to
Can
spring
your
of
election.
2017.
Your election was the first one.
Can
Justin's
you
election.
explain that? Why? Who couldn't vote?
The school
Originally,
definitely
the way that it
changes.
was that the constituents of student organizations voted,
Which was
So-
less than 1% of the student body.
which was less than 1% of the student.
Wow.
And
Okay.
we did.
So it would be voted on during the SGA meeting.
Yeah.
Or it would be voted on by the SGA organization representatives.
So if there was, say, 5 student organizations on campus, you would represent one, we would each represent one. So there would only be 5 votes that
For
would
the
count for
executive
the
council.
election, as opposed to the thousands of students we're representing. So that was before, and then the first election that we were all able to was Justin's election, which was the 2017-2018 semester. So that's pretty exciting.
So make sure to check your webmail
Yes.
around March 30 or
First
March 20th.
apply. First apply for
Apply,
these
yeah,
positions.
and then check-
then definitely check your
Emails.
emails and join this. But do you think that this Senate will bring about a stronger representation of the student body?
I'd like to say definitely,
I
especially
think so.
since it's open to anyone to join. It's anyone can literally bring their vote to
Yeah.
this. This is like democracy 101.
True
Like, there's
democracy.
there's more people willing to be there. So
Yeah.
and especially I think and this plays to a different point, but in the times that we live in now, I think college age students or the majority of us are feeling like we need to be more civically engaged, and this is a form of government that we work in, and I guess we just play the fourth estate here at the press.
The hope is that it does bring about a stronger student representation on campus. That's why the executive council last year wanted to implement the Senate, but also to give more opportunities for leadership positions on campus to students.
Yeah.
And hopefully it does serve as a way for students to have their voice heard on campus and to make a difference here.
I think it definitely will. I think it definitely should. I think people really, should participate in all, because I think we've all seen, whether it be on a small level or a big level, when the good people don't get involved, that's how the bad people come into power. And we want UHCL to be run by good people. Good people.
I agree.
people.
Woo!
No bad
I was about to
elites.
say something just like that. Thank God. I didn't say anything. Troylon had to step in. But yeah, I think it would be an opportunity. And I think the thing with people is that they're maybe not necessarily, they're kind of afraid to hold such an important leadership position. But as you are saying, this is the first semester that you guys are doing it. So it's the perfect time if you really want to have an impact.
Yeah.
And really want to lay things down how they should be.
Have that lasting
I'm definitely
legacy.
applying. My college needs some saving. Humanities, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you heard about any, have you gotten a lot of applications so far? Do
We
you
have
know?
gotten some,
Nice.
but 25 students is a lot to fill.
Yeah, it is a lot
It's
of
to
students.
fill, especially here.
Well,
Yeah.
once a month meeting, that's not
That's-
bad. That's
yeah.
not every single week, so
No.
it should definitely fit with
It's
it.
not every
Yeah.
every single week like the SGA meetings are. So
Yeah, so definitely, guys, if you're listening and you're interested in joining the SGA Senate, check it out. Find an application. Anybody can apply. Anybody, you're a student, you're enrolled, you can apply. Check it out.
Stop
yeah,
the
then
elite.
we'll-
Stop the elite.
Yikes!
Is that what you're running on?
Sure.
Is that your campaign slogan?
Look for the posters.
Yes.
I can see you like with your glasses on and everything, having these Trippy Griffey posters. Like,
I'll be wearing a
vote for
suit
Trippy
too.
Griffey.
I'll be wearing a suit.
Maybe even a tux.
You need one of
Whoa.
those.
And I'll
Like
slick
James
my
Bond?
hair back.
You need one of those like
Okay.
20s, 30s suits. You know?
Yes. Perfect.
That's awkward. But speaking of awkward, we all have had those moments where we wish we could just crawl under a rock or run in the other direction because the situation is just too awkward. If you are a UHCL Hawk, then these are appropriately called Hawkward moments. So to kick this off, what is your Hawkward moment recently? What is the Hawkward moment you've had recently? I know you've had some.
Mine's going to take a little bit of a time, so I'll let someone else go right
I've
now.
had too many. Let me think of a good one.
All right. Well, if then everyone else has to think about it, then from my perspective, being a new student here, I'm a junior, so originally from San Jac, and so I'm used to the way of printing at one institution, but just recently I had to figure out exactly how to print in the library, and it was so foreign to me. And I don't know if it's because I'm a guy and I just don't want to take instructions from anyone, and I felt like I could do it on my own. I was walking around, and the poor woman at the desk was just looking, just like, what is this guy doing? Like if he needs help, he can just ask. And I'm like putting my like student ID in places it shouldn't go. Like I'm putting it in this little scanner thing, and it's like shooting back and forth, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is doing. And then like the price of how much I had to pay came up, and I was like, well, that just can't be right. That was the correct payment, and I made it, but it was just the most like awkward moment to stand there in this silent library with people walking by.
Just like
Like
fighting
what?
with the machine.
I'm just
like,
fighting with this.
Jeez.
Like, do you need help, sir?
Yeah.
No, I got this.
why
I got
didn't
this.
you print in the printing lab?
Because I am a.
Did you know
I'm
we had a printing lab?
No, I don't even know that we had a printing lab.
Come print at the signal.
I was so upset. I like walking out of there. I wanted to kind of like raise my hand, and just like hide my face.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God, poor thing.
someone's gonna be like, oh, that's that guy over there. Like he was being a jackass with all the machines in there. So
Well, I'm sorry. We actually
Thank
have
you.
two printing labs.
thank you.
We have two printing labs. I'll tell you where those are, so you don't have to struggle at the library. Because
Thank you.
that's,
Thank you so much.
that's pretty funny.
All right.
My Hawkward moment. So, my friend works in the student life office as in the student orgs and activities department, and she's a huge fan of The Office. And so she's graduating this semester, and I told her before she graduated that I was gonna do the Jello prank on her, like where they put, like Jim puts Dwight's stapler in Jello. And so she has this placard that says "She who must be obeyed." Like she bought it, and I was like, I wasn't gonna put the student life stapler into some Jello because I was
Yeah.
like, that might
Yeah.
mess it up or something. So I stole her placard, and it was the most awkward thing because like I didn't want anybody to see me take it, and I was kind of like sliding it up my shirt.
Wait,
kind of like,
you're saying the student body president steals?
no, that was borrowed. It was returned.
Corruption.
No,
Corruption.
taking no.
Stop
This is-
student body president.
Please.
I returned it just in Jello. Okay.
Yeah, so you just
I
like
returned it in
collecting
Jell-O.
mementos. That's all. Just off
But
people's
anyways, the awkward moment was me trying to take that without being noticed, and then also taking it back and putting it on her desk in Jello and waiting for her to show up was pretty.
And what did she do?
People were just like walking by, like, "Why do you have Jello? Like just sitting on this desk." So that was fun.
What did she say? What happened?
She loved it. She was like crying of happiness almost. She was
Oh
like,
my
she was
God.
like, "I've been waiting my whole life for this moment."
Oh, wow.
That's
So-
funny.
That's great. Katherine,
I'm
Troylon?
trying to think of one, but I don't.
I know, I can't really think of one.
I mean, neither. I mean, I've had so many, but I don't know. I can't think of them instantly because they just happen like that. You know, it's like I don't know. It's like when you're walking around and then
With my
something happens.
conversations with my boyfriend, like they're awkward all the time. Does that count?
Yeah.
Like sometimes he'll go really deep into stuff that I don't know. Like yesterday, Elon Musk like launched, what is it called? Falcon. That was
the like super heavy rocket.
a super, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the
Oh.
heaviest rocket in history.
Uh-huh.
So there goes my boyfriend. He called me in the middle of my study session, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And he like, with all these facts about how fast it goes and like how much it costs and how much other like the rockets cost and how he's I don't know. It's like after the whole conversation, all I said was, "Okay," and then I just that was it. That was it. I didn't even mention it again. I was like, "Dude, I don't understand
Just
what you're
like,
talking
cool.
about."
All right.
So yeah, we have awkward moments all the time, but I guess yeah.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Did you see what I said? And I was like, you see how fast it goes? And I'm like,
Well, okay, I think one of my Hawkward moments actually kind of relates to some wildlife. Not a hawk, even though there was a hawk that flew over me. Okay, so I like animals, and I love the deer here on campus and everything. So, one time, oh wait, Katherine was involved in this. She's the reason I was outside. I needed to help Katherine with an assignment she had. Something about me telling about an accident I was in, but that's a whole other awkward story from high school. Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
And so Katherine brought me and a few others out to interview us and videotape us. So she started videotaping somebody else. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just stand outside and look around. And all of a sudden, I saw a big buck deer that was very close next to the campus, like right to the building. I saw it, and it leaped away, and I was like, hey! So I ran after the deer, and so I'm running because I want to see the deer. I was excited and everything. So I'm running after the deer, and like before I knew it, I was like almost near the bridge where that goes to the Arbor building, and I just looked around. I was like, oh my God, I am tired. How am I going to walk back? And there was just some people that had noticed me running, and they were just looking at me. And I was like, I like deer.
He's waving.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
And stuff. It was in the heat of the moment.
I would have been there to stare at you till like.
It was awesome. I was a deer, and I was trying to catch up to it. Oh well,
funny.
that's awkward.
That's very awkward.
What about you? What's the
Yeah.
awkward
What about
moment?
you, Mr. Perfect Peña?
I don't have awkward moments.
Brandon,
Come
come
on.
on.
Okay. Mine's also wildlife, and actually Troylon knows this.
Yes, I love this story.
I figured I'd save this big story for right here, right now, this moment, this very interesting moment. So I was coming into work, and right here, I don't know what this entrance is over here. This one with the rocks, the kissing
Okay.
rocks, what we ever
Kissing
call it.
stones?
Those, yeah. And there's the steps, and I wasn't paying attention. I was just on my phone. I'm climbing the steps, and then all of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I see something slither on the steps, and it's just this huge brown snake, and
know
I'm
that.
like almost stepping on it, and I'm like, why? Why is this happening to me?
Guys, you
And
should have heard the uncensored version of this story. It was hilarious.
It was very uncensored when I told Troylon, because I was very, very shooketh about it.
I love
And
snakes.
I
I
was
would have
like,
been
Oh
racist.
my God.
This is not a good moment. Like, why am I about to step on this snake? And then, and so I backtracked and I walked the other way. And this lady, she comes out of the building. She's like, "Hey, there's this thing going on over here." I'm like, "Yeah, but there's a snake." And she looks at it. She's like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, "I'm glad you think that's cool because I'm really freaking out over here." And so that was
my
it was
God.
really awkward, but apparently I'm not as used to nature as other people.
Snakes
You would think I
are
would
life.
be. It's a nature reserve.
See,
but-
now we need to hear the deer and the snakes version of this Hawkward.
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
From their point of view, they're like,
From their point of
"What is
view.
this guy doing? I don't
like,
get it."
Why are you?
I will find
I'm
that
sure
snake.
their versions are much more interesting.
Let's just not talk to the family of deer I charge.
There you
But that's
go.
a whole other story we probably shouldn't talk about. I think I get in trouble
We
for
should
it.
save it for another time.
They didn't happen. Sorry, nothing happened. I didn't charge a bunch of deer who then leapt over the ditch and stuff.
And stuff and things. All right, but All right, but that's it for this episode of Signal Soundbytes. Be sure to look out for new episodes coming up this semester, and also check out our Signal Popcast and Signal Sports Talk, which will be coming out with new episodes this semester as well.
I was on that one.
He was on it. You will check that out very soon. And for more reporting, head to UHCLthesignal.com. If you should feel inclined, like us on Facebook, and send us your comments and suggestions to signalsoundbites@UHCLthesignal.com. That's it, guys. Any closing comments?
Alrighty.
Hashtag
Deuces.
awkward.
I'm Troylon Griffin II,
Trippy Griffin.
and this has been the
Griffey.
Signal Soundbite.
Trippy Griffey.
Vote for Trippy Griffy, Little Griff, assistant editor. That's Troylon Griffin II.
Oh.
You dig?
You dig?
You dig? You dig?
Can you dig it?
You dug? You dig?
Can you dig it?
I dig it all.